Today, I interviewed an AI founder whose company predicts crypto prices.
It's an AI prediction company.
Now, crypto is one of those things that you don't just get into randomly. So I had to ask him who put him on the game.
But he's been trading crypto, I would say, since 2017.
And of course, when you're a founder in high schooler, you have to know what you're going to do in the future. So I asked him.
I definitely don't think I'm going to go to college.
My name's Harun Nota, and welcome to the AI Founder Series.
Harun, my brother.
Mike, how's it been? It's been so long since I've talked to you. You moved last semester, which is all the way in the beginning of this year. For context for the viewers, this is Micah. Awesome guy. I've known him since freshman year of high school, messing around in biology and pissing off our teacher.
Yeah,
that was me and him. We were those
time.
guys. And you've done some crazy things since you left, right? I remember right before he left, he teased me about his app called CoinForecastAI, which you're going to need to explain that for me because I still barely wrap my head around it. So, Micah, go ahead. Explain to me what that is.
Yeah, so for the viewers, just for context, CoinForecast, the company, the idea was originally started by the other company co-founder and one of my longtime friends. His name is Waleed. So he originally founded the company, founded the LLC. He contacted me, wanted me early on to be in on it. He wanted ideas, the layout for the app, how the API was going to function, how it would receive data, how it would transmit that data into information to therefore, have predictions for the company, et cetera, et cetera. And there was a very long testing phase during that. But once we kind of ironed a lot of stuff out, we've had a lot of success. I would say our main thing right now has been outreach. We are definitely lacking on reach, but I feel like our product is viable and our product is good.
Well, explain to me your product.
So basically what CoinForecast does is it's an AI prediction company. So what the models do is, I'll just take our beginner base model light plan, for example. It will give you access to very specific analytics for that plan. For light, it would just be, MACD, very, very simplistic stuff. But along with that, you would be receiving a prediction from our AI model. Now, the nice thing that I like personally that we did is the plan scaling does not scale by, let's say, like the accuracy percentage. It scales by how much data and how much information we're giving per plan. So for basic, like light would only give, I would say, maybe 3 to 4 pieces of data, while I would say our max plan gives around 20 to 30, and it individualizes it. So it categorizes it, and it's very easy to read. It's very easy to, navigate. And that was one of our major things, because in the testing phases of the site, all the information would be scattered everywhere, all around the site. And it would be very hard to keep track of everything that was going on. But once we ironed that out, everything was pretty much smooth sailing, I would say.
Okay, so when did you first join this company?
I would say I first joined back all the way, and I would say 2022. So it's been in development for a long, long time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So damn. So you were there from like when ChatGPT was made. So this company's been around since the beginning stages of when generative AI became popular.
Yeah, when generative AI just started becoming, publicized. So it was, 2020, I would say, set the baseline for when AI first really, had its moment in the spotlight. 2022 was kind of extending off of that trend. It was gaining momentum. Obviously, we're at the peak of the momentum right now. It was slowly gaining momentum. ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure Gemini had just released its first model. Other company was trying to hop on the bandwagon. And we thought, with all this AI possibility and all this innovation, why not take that and implement it in a real world function like cryptocurrency? Because cryptocurrency in itself is a very valuable thing. It's very volatile. So we thought, if something's very volatile, but it's also very profitable, and people are concerned about, let's say, investing their money, why not create a tool to help them feel more confident about their investments? Now, our predictions, now we claim our model has 99.8% rate on our predictions. And we've tested this multiple single times. We've gotten our predictions by the hour, day, and even week down to the cent. So like, let's say it predicts the price for Bitcoin at like 68,330. Our model has guessed like 68,337, like within cents of the dollar.
Okay, that is crazy. Oh my god.
And the craziest part is this has been field tested. I know you remember this. My day trading account that we first started back in sophomore year, that paper trading account, I started with 30,000 for paper trading. I grew that account all the way to 55,000 in less than a year, and every single trade was based off of that model.
For
every
context for the
single
viewers,
time.
real quick context, paper trading is TradingView's free like fake trader.
It simulates trading.
Yeah, it's a simulator. So you're dealing with real prices and you're dealing with real like
Exactly,
scenarios
yeah.
and real prices, but it's not necessarily real money, which is still incredibly shocking because that means if it was real money, Micah turned 30,000 to 50.
Exactly, which is huge, right?
And here's the thing, we've both been in the crypto, AI, and stock space for a while. So a little more context for the viewers. Back when I was 12, so imagine that. I was 12 and 13 when I really started looking into crypto and started crypto day trading. And I remember looking at patterns. I remember trying to do all that. Then I took a break and I went into stock options. And it doesn't matter when I was 14. It was 15, options specifically. And it's like, bro, I remember those days when we were trading in the middle of class, and the one pattern that I consistently found was there is nothing to 100% predict what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
even your
no
model,
one can.
No one can.
And I can add on to that. I absolutely agree. Our model cannot account for every variable. Let me give you an example. Let's say Trump comes out in the news in an article and he says that he's placing a tariff on, let's say, China. I'm just giving an example. He places a tariff on China. That is going to sway the crypto market. The tool cannot account for that real world data because it's not being fed that data, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It can't account for a variable it's not given. So in most scenarios, it's going to work out how it should. But is it an absolute guarantee? No. That's why we specifically state that we are a tool that helps you make judgments, but at the end of the day, it's your own judgment. It's your own decision to invest. We're not saying you should, but we're trying to give you the best odds to be successful on your investment.
I like that philosophy. And I think there's something else I saw recently. It was IBM's machine book handbook that they gave back to employees back in like 1970s. And I don't know if you remember this. I think because me and you have looked at tech companies left and right. The saying was a machine cannot be trusted with managerial decisions. And I think that's the philosophy that you guys are kind of following with this, that it's like, look, a machine can help. The AI can help find, you know what, the market looks bullish or bearish. However, there's no 100% what you should do.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And that was, I think, the main problem of a lot of people that were asking questions about our product was, oh, this is just a 100% guarantee. And what if happens if I lose my money, X, Y, Z? We are not responsible for your lost investment. We clearly state in our terms, and for obviously people watching the podcast, people that are wondering about the product, it is not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee. You're always taking a chance. I took a chance when I started my company. Haroon obviously has taken a chance on his companies. He's taken a lot of chances. A lot of them haven't worked out. I would know. I've taken a lot of chances that haven't worked out. He would know. But at the end of the day, that choice is yours. But that doesn't mean that there aren't tools out there to help you make that choice. And that's where we come in.
I like that. Now, one question I do have for you, stemming back to you, is how did you get involved in the crypto space? I've made YouTube videos about it before, about how I had the get rich TikTok. You know what I'm talking about? Those
I
edits with the
do. I
cars and shit.
absolutely do.
I
Yeah, I
used
know
to
what you're
be
talking about.
so into that when I was like 12 and 13, which fair enough, right? You're gonna get me
We
into it
all
one way
were.
or another.
Everyone that had that, I would say, mindset about growth. Now it was a little bit much back then with all the, Brickle Miami and
Oh my god.
SVJ life. Yeah, but
The iced out Cardi. That was a
yeah,
big one. The iced out
iced
Cardis
out Cardi,
for the horses was crazy.
Rainbow Gucci bag. Yeah, a lot of
Interesting.
those.
So that's what hooked you to getting into
No,
the crypto
no,
space?
that's not what hooked me. But that's just something that's a part of the space back then. What hooked me, I guess, originally, and this stems back because my uncle's been investing in cryptocurrency all the way back since, I would say he's been trading the stock market since all the way back 2006 before, me and you were born. But he's been trading crypto, I would say, since 2017. So he's gotten a pretty good grasp on that. I've learned a lot from him. He's made some pretty serious investments. Some of them obviously haven't worked out. Some opportunities were missed, but I think just seeing and getting kind of a taste for that lifestyle, getting a taste for that freedom, because at the end of the day, the main reason why people chase that is the financial freedom aspect. Sure, it's nice to have the large amount of money, but even if I had a not small, but like a decent, fair sized amount of money that I was bringing in every month passively off of it, I'm still creating financial freedom because I don't have to worry about that. I'm not reporting to a job, a boss. I'm not wasting my time doing that. I'm working for myself, and it's also self-discipline when you're really thinking about it. You wake up every morning, you go to work, you work for a boss. When you wake up as an entrepreneur, you're forcing yourself to work because
It's
no
crazy.
one's going to tell you, "Hey, get your ass out
Go
of
work.
bed and go work." No one's going to say that. You have to tell yourself, you have to be disciplined enough to say, okay, I need to stop being a lazy bum and I need to get some work done.
There you go. And it's one of the hardest parts about being even a trader back then. That was crazy because you had to be on top of it, and you also have to be
Absolutely.
like you can't just panic sell or buy. You have to have a certain level of discipline. That was like, I'd say obviously it didn't work out for me, right, day trading
Hmm.
wise. But what it did was help me in my further businesses and help me push other things. Now we know how you got into the crypto space. Now, how do you get into
Yes.
the AI space? Because that's always like the weirdest part of the journey.
Yes. Now
How'd you
it
get into
is. So a lot of my AI journey, and I guess this can kind of take back to, what me and you used to do back in school. Just kind of learning about innovative, generative AI with image generation when that was first being rolled out through systems like, um what's it called, Adobe Express
Oh
and
yeah.
other services. And I think I just when I saw that, and when I was in the crypto space, like I said, how Coin Forecast was kind of created, and I guess this is kind of can lead on to that. When I saw th- how profitable crypto was already, and then I saw the potential for AI in the future, and realized if I combined them early, because here's the thing, if they're separated and they grow separately and then you combine them later, it's going to be a good product, but it's not going to be as good as if you created it when it was, young, nurturing, and then it exponentially grows on that curve because you already have what you need, if that makes any sense.
No, it does, because it's almost like, what's it called, plasticity, or there's some type of word. I'll put it on the word. I'll put it on the screen. That's like easy adaptability, and it's like it's a thing that your brain does when you're younger. Your brain can
Yeah.
physically mold different, more easier you're younger. So I'll put it on the screen what that words mean. But that's essentially what you're talking about, right? Is that
Yeah.
when this technology is young, you can combine it, you can mold it. But when it gets
Hmm.
old, it's harder to do it, and I see that. And I see why you had to
Absolutely.
make this you had a time crunch essentially.
I did have a major time crunch, but we were able to get it done. And a lot of my end of Coin Forecast is I'm not good necessarily with the back end components of, coding and all that kind of stuff. We spent a lot of hours on Claude Code, me and you, but a lot of that I can accredit to my business partner, which originally started Coin Forecast, Waleed, also known as Visually on the internet.
We'll throw him in the description.
Yeah, I don't know how, because if he didn't do what he did, like Coin Forecast, like I can market, I can make the product, like the site is good, and I can make all these different functionalities. But at the end of the day, the back end, the API was all him. And what he created was just absolutely unbelievable, in my opinion. I genuinely don't know how you can get that high of a prediction rate and have it be like successful over and over and have it be consistent at a 99% level. For a cryptocurrency prediction AI to be consistent at a 99% level is insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's unheard of in this space, which is why this tool is so revolutionary. And that's why I want to get it out now. That's why we were developing it when AI was so young. If we started developing it now, AI is already to start developing something absolutely from scratch.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad that we jumped on the bandwagon early, and that way we were able to get to this point where we are now.
Yeah. Well, because you had more time to actually train the model to realize, wait a minute, this strategy doesn't work. This algorithm doesn't matter. This one does.
Exactly.
Which one was the most important and when to combine them, which is something that a lot of people don't realize about AI, right? Like you literally just phrased it right. If I started now, it would not be as helpful, or it would not be as accurate than when we started it before, which is because simply of the time that you train the model. So that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize, is that even though, while Micah, you're not on the back end, you understand something that a lot of other people don't. And it's like, I talk to people all the time who are like, bro, I'm going to make my own LLM. Bro, I'm going to make my own AI. Bro, I'm going to do this. Bro, you're late. You need to get on something early enough for you to get on it. And that's how AI always was. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, exactly. No, go ahead.
Like, I'm not saying it's impossible for you to continue making a product now or build a product now. But when you're making your own LLM or you're making your own AI model, you have to start early.
Absolutely. I 100% agree, because if you don't start early, then you're already behind the curve on something that's rapidly evolving, rapidly accelerating, and you're only going to fall more and more behind. Like, I'll give another example. When we were in school, when you had Wi-Fi workers, that was, even though it wasn't necessarily a success,
it was an absolute, it was the worst.
It was a bonfire.
It was a bonfire is like the healthy way to describe it.
Yeah.
Basically, for the viewers, that was my first business, and that's what really got me started in my entrepreneurial journey. I started that I think it was September or August of 9th grade, and that was roughly August of senior year. So it's crazy how time flies. But yeah, you were saying?
It really is. So just like with Wi-Fi workers, you started on an idea early. Even though it wasn't perfect, even though it didn't end up being successful, it kind of did in a way. And let me elaborate on that. Even though the product itself wasn't successful, that's what started you on your journey. And also it taught you things that you did right, things that you did wrong, things you needed to improve on. All those different things you gain knowledge on because of that failure. And then you went on to obviously form WizAgents, which is doing rapidly and wildly successful. Praise be Allah.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about timing. And that's one thing that I want to talk about with you real quickly. Timing. You're still 17, right? I'm still 17 too.
Just now we're both in April.
Exactly. Damn. So we're both 17. We both have college apps coming up, right? It's August, which means college apps are due kind of December. I gotta really start on that soon.
You really
What
do.
are your plans for the next couple of years? Wow, it is thunderstorming outside. What are your plans for like the next couple of years? Are you gonna go to college? Are you gonna continue on entrepreneur after high school? Or are you even gonna drop out of high school? What are your plans?
So I definitely will not be dropping out of high school. I believe it
Thank
is
God.
definitely beneficial to finish high school. So I will
It
not be
is.
doing that. Don't worry, guys. I won't be doing
You'll
that.
drop out, sell a course.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a course seller, everybody. So buy my course, WizAgents approved. Okay.
We do not approve of this message. We do not. There is
I'm
no
just
SVJ
kidding.
promised.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, SVJ Miami Brickle. But oh my God, what was I saying? Oh, just lost my
About your
train of
plans.
thought, man. Oh, so
About your
the plans over the next few years, I definitely don't think I'm gonna go to college. I don't believe college is for me because and I'm just speaking from obviously from my life. And you've seen this too, because you've spent a lot of time with me. You know me very well.
This
I
guy
have a
cannot
very
sit still.
I have a
This guy
very
cannot sit still.
ADHD mind. I have a very ADHD mind. I can't
Right now,
sit
you're
still.
you watching this podcast is the longest I've seen him sit still, and he's talking
Yeah,
about business, which
you
is something
you
he's good at.
you see how I keep doing this and then switching hand positions? Yeah,
I get
that's
that.
part of it. But the reason why I'm able to, sit down and have a conversation like this with, without getting distracted is because it's something that I enjoy. It's something that I'm knowledgeable about. It's something that I know the ins and outs of. And it was also kind of funny today. I was in class. This isn't off topic, but this is a funny story for the pod. Today in my finance class, during when my teacher was talking, he was talking about like W-2s and like he was talking and no hate to him because he was talking to, from the perspective of the class doesn't know anything. So he was just speaking from a
Yeah,
baseline. But
of course.
he was talking about like how like have you ever like looked at like how to buy your first car? Have you ever looked at how to file taxes? And I'm like, dude, I raised my hand and I said, dude, I got a CPA. And he looked at me, he's like, well, yeah, we'll cover that. And he kind of was like, he looked at me in that way,
Yeah. So you have a fast-paced mind, and to you, these things so that's why you don't see college as necessary. Did you ever consider it though?
I did. And it's not that I don't believe that I have more to learn. I'm not a know-it-all, and I don't believe I'm a know-it-all. I have a lot to learn in the business field. The reason why I say I don't believe go in college would be beneficial for education-wise is I feel like I'm more suited to figure things out on my own because I kind of had to force myself to do that. I had a very lazy point in my life where I kid you not, I would wake up every single day. This is a real story. I wake up every single day and I would sit in my bed and I would just, on days that I wasn't in school, and I would just, I was outside a lot. Like when I was I would say between the ages of 12 to 15, I was outside a lot. But like there was this one year that I remember where I just sat in bed and I was on Instagram every single day for hours and hours and hours. And I would look at motivational business content and I wouldn't get off my ass and do anything. And looking back on it now, yeah, it sucks because it's wasted time now that I realize. But I'm also glad that when you really look at the grand scheme of things, I understood it really early on compared to where other people end up understanding. Some people don't wake up until they're, in their late 30s. Some people never wake up, So I feel like I was definitely ahead of that curve. As for education as a whole, I would say I'm more looking to continue to self-teach myself, continue to grow the things that I already have going. I definitely want to start something new to add to the, I guess, empire is something you could say. For you, you have I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Luxifiers.
Luxifiers is one of my things. Yeah.
Luxifiers, yeah. And then you obviously have WizAgents. So you're building that kind of portfolio for your companies. For me, I have this. I have another company that once it's finished being, I would say, I'm happy with the foundation enough. We'll have another pod talking about that, going into depth about that.
Oh yeah, we gotta have a part 2.
Because yeah, there definitely will be a part 2 because this was just about the background and mainly about Coin Forecast. So next time we'll jump into it's called Checkmate. So everyone remember that Checkmate.
Checkmate is something I remember you told me briefly about this, but we really need to dive deep into that.
We really do.
I think we figured out most about you as a whole. You're a fast-paced person who's been in the AI and finance space for a very long time. So have I. And it's like we've both almost grown together in this way that's like you've seen more than the average person has, right? Like you mentioned your finance teacher. Now, we are both running out of time, so let's hit the rapid fire section real quickly.
Let's do it.
All right, ready?
Ready.
Claude or ChatGPT? I think I know the answer.
Claude.
Do you like to work from an office or do you like to work from anywhere?
Anywhere.
Do you like to wake up to an alarm or anytime?
Anytime, but only because my mind wakes me up early automatically.
Really?
It's like a body alarm clock. Yeah.
I don't wake up early. I'll just stay up till like 2 a.m. work. Obviously, I can't do that because of school now. But what I used to do is I used to just work until 2 a.m. and then I'd wake up at noon and then just work the whole day.
Habibi, I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night working. What are you doing? Lock in.
Dang, 4 a.m. What is this guy? I told you this guy is busy. I
got 1 hour, 1.5. I'll say one because I woke up. I fell asleep at like 4:12. I woke up at like 5:30 to take a shower and get ready. So yeah,
how delirious are you?
Hour and a half of sleep. I feel great. I got up. I went through my whole day. I got on the pod because guess what? Work doesn't stop. Even though it's the first day of school.
How many Red Bulls are under that desk right now? For today. Okay, you know what? I'll answer it for you. Far too much. Okay.
Far too much. So let's just say that. But I do have a Coke here. Proud sponsor of the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, not a sponsor of WizAgents yet. But anyway, next question. Yet. Do you like, when you have a task at hand, do you like to just absolutely hammer it out until it's done? Or do you like to take it in segments and breaks?
I would definitely say take it in segments and breaks, but during those segments and breaks, I really hammer down on what I'm doing. So it's kind of a hand in hand.
I like that. Do you prefer energy drinks or coffee?
Coffee, what?
Coffee is like a top 10 go-to drink.
Absolutely.
Top 3.
Iced Americanos all the way.
Finally, someone who likes black coffee and not just sugary milkshakes.
Bro, no. I would say at max, 1 creamer, max.
Do you know, there's this place close to me that's like a Yemeni coffee shop, and I like their Royal Spanish Latte. And the only reason why I like it, it's sweet, is because they use sweet and condensed milk, not syrup. So it tastes very clean.
Milk.
Sweet and condensed
so
milk,
it's got it. You get that frothy, like thick, like foamy milk. Yeah, there you go.
And when it's iced on a hot summer day, oh my man, it feels so different. It tastes good, and it's sweet without that syrupy taste. That's why I can't drink like regular lattes. Now, the last and most important question of them all. We have had people before who get this question wrong. Micah, cereal before the milk or milk before the cereal?
Cereal before. When you say cereal before the milk, you mean put the cereal in the bowl and then pour the milk?
No, I mean you throw the bowl, then you throw the cereal, then you throw the milk. Actually, I was trying to be sarcastic. Yes, you're right. You're right.
You put the cereal in the bowl and then you pour the milk.
That's kind of what I said.
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
Thank God we have another one of the guests who got it right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode, I don't even know at this point.
Episode 6?
What? No, this is like 13 or 12. I think it's
16?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Micah. Go follow his socials. Go follow his Instagram. Go follow all of his websites, and we'll put down all of them just for you. Definitely. Because honestly,
You did accidentally mute your mic there, but I will add on to that before we go. I do a lot of on my other socials. I do a lot of car content. I do a lot of I'm gonna be doing some more business content. I kind of keep my business behind the scenes right now, other than like what Haroon does. I'm gonna be bringing more of it to light, with my senior year coming up and all of that. I'll let you guys know. I might make a separate socials for that and plug it on my main, but definitely follow my main Instagram and definitely check out the company. They'll both be linked in bio.
Exactly. So everyone, that's Micha Kantor. Thank you for joining us today. Micha, stay safe. It's thunderstorming right now.
Thanks for having me, man.
As
Have a good one.
You too.